Now, I come to a topic that has been ongoing and that has been addressed, but still people don't believe it. Some of your detractors say that it is team disunity. What do you have to say to this? In fact, they say that Prime Minister Harris has been given an ultimatum to step down and someone else step up. Truth or falsehood?
Let me begin by saying that my sojourn in politics would have begun sometime around 2002, some 14 years now. I have had the fortunate privilege, thanks to the people of constituency number 5, to be a member of parliament since 2004, some 3 terms now. Throughout the 3 terms that I have been a member of parliament and throughout the 14 years that I have been actively on the political platform, I have heard many different rumors, be it while in opposition, be it while in government. And sometimes you have to sift through them and determine what is true from what is false. Of course, when you're on the outside, it is a little more difficult for you to determine what may be true and what may be false. Similarly to you, I've heard the rumors that there is disunity within Team Unity. Well, I don't know if they're referring to the cabinet members, because I'm not aware of any disunity within cabinet. When we had the retreat a few Saturdays ago, I can recall one of the facilitators asking us to list some of the successes of this particular government and some of the failures of this particular government. When it was my turn to respond, I said, for me, the greatest success of this government is the fact that you have a government comprising of 3 different political parties, and to date, the government has gelled together and has gelled together extremely well. When I said that, I was being totally honest, because from my perspective, indeed, we have gelled together extremely well. I think that will be supported by all members of the Team Unity administration. As I began by saying, though, it is politics, and so those who are in opposition, they will say any and everything in an attempt to create within the minds of persons that the government of the day is one which is going to fail, that the government is doing absolutely nothing to help them, because their intention, of course, is to return to government. And so they will use any and all means necessary to achieve their own political objectives. It doesn't mean, however, that what they are saying is correct. At the end of the day, I think the people will be able to judge us based on our own record. And persons are not stupid. Of course, there's some who will believe, and you're going to get that within any political party. There's some persons, once it is said by you, the political organization that you support, you're going to believe it without even taking an objective look at the circumstances. You will have those across the board. You have those in PAM who will do so, those in the Labour Party who will do so, those from PLP, NRP, CCM. You just have to accept that you just have some supporters who behave that way. They give blind support to any political party because this is a political party that they support. But there are others who I think will be more objective, and those persons, I think, if they look and they see what is happening, and for me, action speaks louder than words, because the disunity that they are speaking to, where is the action to indicate that there is disunity within unity? We haven't had any motion of confidence. We haven't had anyone defecting from the government. Of course, you have some persons who would have supported us, and those persons are out there openly criticizing the government, and there's nothing wrong with that. During the term of any administration, you see those persons emerging. They support you, and they support you right down to election day, and the day after the election, for some reason or the next, they become upset and they turn against you. You will have that. I've also said to persons that when you are in government, it's a little bit more difficult to continue to increase your support day after day after day after day, because there are some persons who will become ticked off because for one reason or the next you haven't been able to fulfill something that that individual is looking for. Of course, you want to maintain and increase your support, but the longer you stay in government, the more difficult it becomes.
Now, recently, one of your constituents showed me an article. I think it was on Voice of St. Kitts Nevis. There's a new thing on Facebook now, and said that you said something in Antigua. I'm sure you heard about it. And the first time I looked at it, I said, because of course I'm a critical thinker, and I said, but this doesn't sound right. And I'm sure that and the person made it out. And when I looked basically at what you had said, it was nothing in terms of what the headline was actually saying. Misleading.
That particular interview would have taken place during the last sitting of the OECS National Assembly. There is a young man, I can't remember his name at this point in time, but I can recall that during my conversation with him, he said he had been involved in a number of youth organizations, not just in Antigua, but he would have represented Antigua at the regional and international level at several different youth forums. He spoke to the fact that there is too much dependence on politicians, and it's something that he would like to see come to an end. And he asked me my own views, my own thought on that particular statement, and I did say yes to him. That in my view, there is too much dependence on politicians, that the political handouts, that those need to come to an end. I think if anyone is objective, persons would agree with that particular statement. And it helps to bring about the type of society that ultimately we would like to see, whereby persons begin to vote based on policies, whereby persons begin to vote based on the issues, and not necessarily because he or she feels that he owes a politician a favor because of some sort of political handout. And so I did say, yes, we need to bring an end to political handouts, and I stand behind that particular statement. I am not shying away from it. I made the statement, and it is what I honestly believe. We need to create a society which doesn't have to depend on politicians, where persons do not feel that as soon as they need something, that the first thing they're supposed to do is to run to a politician to get such. And you hear it from persons from time to time. The system needs to become transparent, government needs to become more accountable, and so that you know that when it is that you need something, the systems are there to support you, that you don't feel that you have to, for lack of a better word, sell your soul to any politician to get something done. You must be able to get something done based on the merit of it. And whatever it is you need to do, the systems must be there to support you in doing so.
Now, we do not want to develop a parasitic society. And sometimes it seems as though we are going down that road, as you correctly said, with the political culture that we actually have. But at the very same time, there are some people who genuinely need handouts.
And again, the system must be in place to allow for that, and not that you feel you have to go directly to a politician to get something done. If it is that, and I guess you're more speaking to the social services.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
The social services that you have to assist some persons with. But there must be a particular department that I know I can go to, and regardless of which political party I support, once I am qualified to receive it, I will receive it, and not that a politician has to make some intervention on my behalf. The system must be allowed to work in a fair and transparent manner. The system must see persons as citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, and not supporters of a political party.
Now, on one hand, there are some people who, for example, feel that I voted, and because I voted and I even have a job, I don't have to perform in that job because my vote was sufficient. And there are other people who feel because I voted, I must be given this and I must be given that, and that sort of a thing. So I can understand basically where you are coming from, because you don't want to create, as I mentioned before, a parasitic community, but you want to create a healthy community where people can really try to help themselves, and rather than this culture of dependency, which is really not a good one.
It isn't. And I believe, as I said earlier, that the majority of persons understand what I say, and this is something that the majority of persons would like to see.
Right. Now, you're Minister of Culture as well. So we've touched on sports, we've touched on education, we've touched on you being a member of the executive in the cabinet and how the cabinet is actually functioning and gelling together. Now we are going to move on to culture. You're the Minister of Culture, and we have had several developments recently under the Department of Culture, with you at the helm, of course, as the Minister. Kyla Brown, Miss Caribbean Culture in Nevis. Alsanada Hanley, Miss Venus Model, that was in Anguilla.
Yes.
Then we had Miss St. Kitts, Miss Angel Erskine, who entered 2 shows, and then Miss Caraval in St. Vincent, and then you had the Miss JC's show in Antigua. And then we also had some Calypsonians who entered into the Leeward Islands Calypso competition. That was in Anguilla. We had King Astro, and there was a second person. So what level of support does the Department of Culture give to these cultural ambassadors, and how do you see the arts and culture as playing a pivotal role in the development of St. Kitts and Nevis?
First of all, let me say congratulations to all of the different persons who you just named who would have participated in those shows. Winners coming out of the 2015-2016 Carnival here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Alsanada Hanley, who won the Miss Venus swimsuit in Anguilla. Kyla Brown, who won the Miss Culture in Nevis. You had our reigning national queen, Angel Erskine. She would have participated, as you said, in Miss Caraval and Miss JC's. She wasn't fortunate to have placed, but she was a judge in the top 5 at the Miss JC's pageant. And you had King Astro, who went off to Anguilla. So we had a 50% success rate in terms of those who were able to come back with a crown. However, I do believe that they all went out and they did their very best to represent St. Kitts and Nevis. They're all winners, and so we congratulate all of them. They were given support by the Carnival Committee. They would have each submitted a budget indicating the cost of the various shows that they were participating in, and as much as possible, a Carnival Committee assisted them. I want also to thank the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, which came on board to assist Alsanada. She had been sponsored by the Development Bank when she participated in the swimsuit competition here last year, and that company did not just leave it there, but came back and helped to ensure that she was able to participate in that particular pageant in Anguilla. So that as the Ministry of Culture, we continue to give support not just to those individuals, because on a day-to-day basis you have quite a number of other persons approaching the Ministry of Culture to assist them with several different undertakings. We have different artists going overseas to not necessarily represent St. Kitts and Nevis, but to develop themselves and to showcase their talents in other islands. And when they do ask for support, we try as best as possible to provide the support. The Department of Culture also just last week, Friday, I think it was, down at the ferry terminal, would have had a Pan in Splendor.
Pan in Splendor.
Last summer and this summer, we have been able to organize some pan classes for persons of different age groups, so that you, Les Roy, if you wish to participate next year, you can do so.
I want to learn.
You want to learn, you should have perhaps attended this year.
Oh.
But you will have other opportunities to do so. And throughout the course of the year, there are a number of different activities organized by the Department of Culture. As we are planning for our independence celebration next month, the Department of Culture is very much involved in that, and so you will see some activities which will be put on by the Department of Culture to celebrate our independence next month.
Okay, now scholarships. I understand that the Taiwanese embassy, or the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, is having this evening a scholarship awards ceremony at the OTI. Could you cater a little bit about that?
Yes, this particular ceremony is one which takes place on an annual basis for quite a number of years now. The Taiwanese have been assisting our students with studies in several different areas: engineering, computer science, nursing, education, hospitality, just about in almost every area that they do offer studies. We have had persons being able to take up studies there and coming back to St. Kitts and Nevis and make a positive contribution towards our development. So this evening at OTI, as you rightly pointed out, you have some 12 persons, I think it is, who will be joining other persons who are currently in Taiwan pursuing studies. Of course, this evening I will add my own words of congratulations to the students and those of gratitude to Taiwan for once more assisting our students. Maybe I should also add here that the scholarships which are offered, while tonight those who will actually be going off to pursue 4-year degrees for those doing a bachelor's or 2 or 1 year for those doing a master's, there is also a program whereby they provide scholarships to students in our primary, high and CFBC and the Navy Sixth Form College and AVIC also. So it's not just for persons pursuing a degree, but they have a separate program.
Education, to support education.
Yes, to support education. So I want to say most hearty thanks to the Taiwanese for assisting us here in St. Kitts and Nevis in so many different ways. So many different ways. I mean, you spoke about sports, and as you look around St. Kitts and Nevis, you can see the handprint or the footprint of Taiwan in a number of our different sporting facilities. Most recently, of course, you had the lighting of the Sandy Point field that they would have provided assistance with. And be it the police, because I know that there is a particular initiative which is to be pursued within a week or two that they're assisting us with the police, and there is no area of our development which I think Taiwan hasn't assisted us with.
True. Now, discussions for prosperity, that is what they are dubbed. These town hall meetings that are the most recent addition in terms of conveying some message to the people. Do you think that this theme is resonating with the people? And what is the real purpose of these town hall meetings? And you can tell us as well, when is the next town hall meeting and where?
Discussions for prosperity. We came to the people prior to the last general election and we outlined our prosperity agenda.
Yes.
Just this week, I saw a news item indicating that Team Unity has been able to implement some 47 of the promises made to date. We made maybe about 200 promises. We're just about a year and a half off. So I think we are well on our way, because it means within 2 years we should be just about halfway in terms of the promises. So I think we are well on our way. And well, not 2 years, but 2.5, because it's a 5-year term. So I do believe that we are well on our way to fulfilling the promises that we would have made to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. So when we say discussions for prosperity, it is about what we have done thus far and what we will be doing to bring prosperity to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Ultimately, of course, the judge of that will be the people. They will make that determination as to whether or not they are better off today than they were yesterday. The next of the town hall meetings, discussions for prosperity, takes place tomorrow evening in my own constituency, constituency number 5, Sandy Point, at the community center. The town hall meeting is slated to begin at 7:30 p.m. I take this opportunity to invite all persons, not just the people of the town of Sandy Point, but all persons throughout St. Kitts and Nevis. For those who can't make it, of course, they can tune in on ZIZ Radio and television. So tomorrow evening, I myself will be outlining for the people of Sandy Point what we have been able to do in Sandy Point thus far, and what are some of the things that they can expect to see throughout the rest of the year and throughout the rest of the term of Team Unity. Basically, we have said that we are a government which is accountable, and so these meetings provide us with an opportunity to give an account to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. They also provide an opportunity for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to question us on what we have been doing, to give their own input, and to give their own ideas as to what the government should be doing. So it's a partnership, and in any partnership there must be communication.
Sure.
So it is part of the communication amongst us and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.